Everyone, a good Tuesday evening. It's weather for Weather Geeks time as we head into midweek, and we head into kind of a respite from wintry weather for a few days. Of course, as you know by now, we've got some serious cold coming our way by early next week, and we may have some accumulating snow preceding that at the end of the weekend. In the meantime, let's do a quick review of what happened today. Actually, it was a little bit slick on a lot of roads last night and first thing this morning, and some school adjustments resulted from that. This time lapse starts in the middle of the night, and then as we got into the daylight hours, things did improve. In fact, we had some sunshine at times today. This veil of high clouds actually made for a very nice sunset at a little after 5:30 this evening. All right, this storm is getting off the playing field, but it has certainly left its mark across a lot of the Ohio Valley, the Great Lakes, and certainly into the Northeast. Generally in our area, a couple of inches in the far northern part of Trumbull and Mercer to as much as 6 inches or so in a lot of southern Mahoning, Columbiana, southern Lawrence, and over into Beaver County, PA. But all that's pretty small potatoes compared to parts of the east. Parts of northern Jersey had pretty close to 30 inches, about 1.5 feet or so in Central Park in New York City. And this was a doozy of a storm into New England. Kind of in the wind-down phase right now. The system is weakening. It's still producing some snows in parts of interior New England. And actually, we're just kind of getting grazed here across our area with some light snow or flurries on the very back edge of this. This won't last long and really won't amount to a whole lot, but you're going to see a few snowflakes here and there over the next handful of hours. In the meantime, the cold is loading up in Canada. Now, for most of the winter, this harsh cold has been on the other side of the pole, over into Siberia, parts of China especially, even into parts of Europe. But now it's coming into this hemisphere, and this cold's going to load up, and then it's going to get released to the south in the coming days, and especially by early next week. A lot of the U.S. will be shivering. It's been a long time since we've had sub-zero temperatures here in our area. Officially at the Youngstown Warren Airport, it's been over 2 years now. January 31st, 2019. 733 days now since the last time we've had a sub-zero temperature. The coldest temperature we had at the airport last winter was 1 above. We didn't make it below zero. In case you missed it last evening, I did post on my weather blog, ericwfmj.com, about the changing ideas for the month of February. You know, it wasn't that long ago that we kind of thought February was going to be another pretty mild month. It was only about, a week to 10 days ago that I was talking about that, but things have evolved since then, and this happens sometimes in long-range forecasting, where some changes in the atmosphere and as far away as what's going on over the Pacific Ocean can have big impacts downstream, and that's what we're seeing, and it's certainly going to be a different-looking map in February than the winter so far. These are the temperature anomalies so far in meteorological winter, so December and January. Look at the extreme warmth in Canada and near the U.S.-Canadian border. Hasn't exactly been extreme around here, but December was about 3.5 degrees above average, January about 4 degrees above the average, so it's been a mild winter so far, but February is not going to follow suit. Because of the relatively mild weather we've had so far this winter, including a lack of harsh cold at night, there's not much ice on the Great Lakes, including nearby Lake Erie. Now, here in early February, we should be up around 40 to almost 50% ice coverage. That's the average anyway, the long-term average. But we're down around 10% right now. It's actually decreased just slightly today over yesterday. But there's probably going to be a big jump coming in this ice coverage on Lake Erie over the next coming several days. A little bit of a thaw Thursday into Thursday night, but then turning colder Friday afternoon, and then starting over the weekend, we're not going to see above freezing temperatures for quite some time. So expect a jump in this ice coverage on Lake Erie. Typically, the ice coverage on Lake Erie peaks right around Valentine's Day, middle of February. And that's when we should see a pretty significant jump in our ice coverage this year. And our local rivers and creeks and lakes that have some tenuous ice right now, that ice is going to turn pretty darn thick, I think, over the next couple of weeks. All right, these flurries fade away, and then clouds, some intervals of sun for tomorrow. High pressure scoots by and gives us enough of a clear sky then tomorrow night and into early Thursday morning that it'll be a colder night. We'll get down to about 10 on average for daybreak Thursday. Late in the day Thursday, clouds increase, and then Thursday night, heading into Friday morning, some rain and snow showers around. Not expecting much in the way of snow impacts with this. I think some of our snowpack will melt, as we'll spend Thursday afternoon above freezing. We'll spend most of Thursday night above freezing, and then temperatures will crash behind the system on Friday. We'll sneak back into the 20s Friday afternoon with wind chills dropping into the teens as the wind really howls. In fact, these wind gusts Friday afternoon, not going to be enough to necessarily blow a lot of trash cans down the street, but 30, 35, maybe 40 at the most Friday afternoon. But it's going to be a cold wind. Big change. All right, here's the upper level depiction of things, and there's our friend, the polar vortex, slipping southward. Now, what I'm showing you is actually the European model, which isn't, its current run is not as cold as the previous couple of runs. Now, it's still cold, but the intensity of the cold is not quite as much as it was as a couple of runs ago. It keeps the bulk of, kind of the heart of the polar vortex mainly up here, and, kind of slides most of the real harsh cold just to our north. Now, again, it's going to be cold either way, but at least with this model, it's not quite as cold looking as the previous couple of runs, but either way, yeah, it's going to get cold. Here comes all that blue coming south out of Canada by this weekend and coming east through the Great Lakes, the Ohio Valley, into the northeast by early on next week. And so I've got a high of 15 in the forecast for Monday and 17 for Tuesday. And even if the mercury doesn't drop below zero, which at this point is questionable, it might be close, I think it's a good bet that the wind chills will be below zero first thing Monday morning, maybe 5 to 10 below. And then Tuesday morning could be in kind of the same territory, near zero, perhaps below zero. And next Wednesday morning, again, this will be dependent on exact wind speeds and the sky cover. Does it turn clear? And that sort of thing. At this point, this doesn't look like the worst thing in the world wind chill wise, but it will be significant. It will be the coldest air of the season so far. And this has some staying power. Again, maybe the harshest cold will be early next week, but the current CPC outlook 8 to 14 day period here shows the cold sticking around, and even a return of Barney Purple onto the weather map here in the 8 to 14 day period across the Corn Belt. That's where the biggest anomalies should be. All right, that'll do it for Weather Geeks here on this Tuesday evening. Thanks, as always, for watching, everyone, and I will see you back here on Wednesday.